you know, in characteristic, you see, the American way is a new way, and third eye is all about foreign. And if you look at all this spirituality stuff, it all comes from there, you know. And even people Australian go there, and from there they come back, you know. It's just supporting that. It's the future. The third eye is yours. I don't know where is it. Lake Titicaca is the
Second.
no. Is it the second? What was the third? Third.
Lake Titicaca.
The third.
Lake Titicaca.
In Peru.
Second, isn't it?
Second? I don't know. Whatever you thought is right. I don't know. I'm mixing up numbers now. It doesn't matter. But whatever I said before it is. I don't know which one it is.
So Abdy, at Lake Titicaca, what happens there? Because there's supposed to be some special energy there where people say they see UFOs come out of the water. What is that? Just another vortex?
Yeah, it is just. What is? It is the second. What is the second chakra representative?
No.
Sometimes sex, something for sex. It's creativity, it's manifestation, but it's also corruption. You know, all these things. Many things, mixed things. Yeah. So creativity. What? Yeah. Yes. Yeah. But
So whatever it's that's whatever a chakra is representing, land does the same. You see, in base chakra, and actually in Australia, for example, of course you all, that is Uluru, but it's covered the whole piece of land. The survival, it's been always so much fear. There's more fear here than anywhere else. Even though everything is nice and glory, but people are so fearful. Everything. The way your insurance law is, the way your laws is, everything is so much fear. I mean, beyond Europe and North America, and you just don't know it. And water is there. It's just so much. You have to leave that, you know, survival stuff. That's what energy supports. Huh?
is that why I don't want to live here?
It's so much survival. You know, people. That's, you know, so much fear, and you can be in a beautiful. Of course, not that everybody live the same thing, but that's the energy. You know, you can be, as I said yesterday, you can be isolated from wherever you are. You are in your own island, but what this place supported, and also it's so. If you look at the history and what things happen, you know, for example, you know, sending the criminal here, you know, they already, you know, criminal are the most fearful people. And they send them here to a place that they belong on an energetic level, not just isolate. I mean, they didn't know at the time, but it's just how attracts, and that goes through generations and plays, and then killing the indigenous people creates so much fear in that, you know, it's all. And you're not looking at 1,000 years ago. You're looking at just a couple of, you know, it's very, very recent, and things that has happened here is unheard of, you know. If the same thing happened in North America, that, you know, it's 100 years ago, somebody would have been in jail already.
Like the slaves.
No, but that's not 100 years ago. That's farther back. You know, in last 100 years, you know, we were going places in Sydney or whatever. You know, in Australia they were hunting Aboriginal up 80, 90 years ago. They were hunting. I mean, this is different.
Less than that, I've heard 60 years ago.
Yeah. You couldn't do that 60, 70, 80 years ago in North America, you know. Maybe 200, 300, not even hunting, you know. And it's okay here, because if it wasn't okay, somebody would have been said, why did we do that? But it's okay.
Easy come, easy go.
So it's a bit different here. It's a lot, and it's a lot of fear. People had fear to do that. Fear of the Aboriginal. Why you do that? So, you know, why would you want to kill somebody or something, or even cut a tree? Why? I mean, if you want to use it, okay, I understand. If you want to eat an Aboriginal, I understand. But for what reason you just kill somebody? Why? It just comes from fear that thing, whatever it is attacking you. It's not good for you. Whatever.
Not worthless.
Hmm?
Worthless, like a cow.
Yeah, but even if something worthless, you don't just put a bullet in something worthless, and why would you waste your bullet?
Yeah.
You know, would you go put a bullet in the gun? No. I mean, it's some fear has been there because there's somebody not, you know, just like, you know, a dangerous animal, you know, like, maybe, you know, that has been fear dealing with them, and it created fear in them return, and it's a fearful environment. Not that, you know, so, but it doesn't matter, you know. You're here because you belong here, and the day you are not, you're not here.
Is that why you keep coming here?
I don't know, maybe not. Well, you see, funny thing is, when I started working in Australia, all my gatherings are all around the world, I have majority number of people is always Australian. And the second majority are Colombian. Well, oddly enough, the Colombian, I mean, I put a gathering somewhere, of course in here they don't come much, but anywhere, a gathering that I put, most Colombians have to spend 2-3 times their annual income to get there, but they still come. They go borrow, they come. I just don't understand why. But for you guys, it's no big deal to go somewhere, but they do. So that means also many people have come here for the same reason. You know, when you have this fear, then you have so many light that they're there to do whatever they need to do. And those lights, people who don't, you know, connected to that light, they come to me for whatever reason. So the reason I come here is not because of that fear. Is first of all, is the base chakra, and when you do any form of healing, they teach you work first on the base. You come from the base up, and oddly enough, it happened same way. I was not led to US. I was pushed. I came here and worked for the base, but not led to US. Before the thing I was doing in US, I was working with Hollywood people, and to create, because you see, at the time I was saying our reality, the way we live, is all happened because of Hollywood. Everything. The Russian Revolution happened because of Hollywood. Yes, it's a way of advertising and putting values in people without them realizing that this is right, that's wrong. So when I started having this gig, the first thing I went to LA to work there. I went to put center there and work with many Hollywood. Actually, Steven Spielberg invited me to his house to have a session, which I wasn't let go at the time. But they were planted so much energy to create new way. And that's why there's so many funny movies now has come last 7-8 years.
Because of you?
Not because of me. You see, it's not because of me. It's just the energetic that I support, maybe other people support too. But it's just, you see, when you put an energetic blueprint and those, you know, one of the top producer or director would come to my session, they get something. The actors come, you know, they penetrate and they say, wow, there's, you know, they have a reality. Actually, many people I know that created movies that they got it from that session. They tap into a reality they didn't know. Through that, they make it. See, and it's not just so, you know. So, and that is working like through the third eye, because also in healing, you know, you just go. There's different model, but you know, either you go to crown, you open something, or your third eye, you open something, then you heal from the bottom to the top. So this is how on the earth and everything works. You see, everything works in a similar way of a single unit, a big unit, earth and universe. It all works the same way. Nothing is secret. Everything is so simple. And we look at everything in a complicated way. That's why, you know, you have to figure it out. But if you look at it in a simple way, or, you know, if you look at how Earth and universe work, just look at how your body works. It's the same way. You know, and everything is like that. Everything. And if you don't know how your body works, look at how your universe works, and that's how, you know, it just. And all the people around you, that's how, you know, the cellular system, all, you know, everything. The government is their brain, you know, all those things. Yeah. And the cancer is when there's no harmony. And the terrorism against democracy. but that, you know, you look at terrorism as terrorism, but it's not really terrorism. It's just when you have a bully, big bully, and a bunch of little kids, and the only way that this little kid can deal with that bully by doing something, not punching from the face, it's just stabbing from the back. Is it wrong? I don't think so. It's just how you put things. But you're taking that terrorism and you're gonna have problems. Cut that one off.
I'll send it through the internet.
You know,
the
I-
NSA will pick it up.
You know, funny thing, I just applied for British residency, and on the application was asking me, have you ever had any opinion about terrorism? Opinion. Who would believe that? Or so many questions. Have you supported opinion? God. How will it come from?
So, the universe, or the planet, has become more fifth dimensional. That's right, isn't it? So the people on the planet, the human beings on the planet, or the planet itself, is also becoming more fifth dimensional. That's right. So therefore, we're reacting, and we have all these experiences. We hold on, or whatever, however we're dealing with it. How's the planet then going to deal with it? Because I keep on seeing a big crack or a line in the planet. And I've been predicting natural disasters for about 8 months now, and I keep on seeing this all the time. Do you know of anything that's like that?
Yeah, see, first of all, you are part of planet.
Yeah.
Planet is much powerful than what you think.
Yeah.
Our existence is humanity existence is a bunch of hair on this body, and if this body is planet, this is the hair, we are the human.
Yeah.
So you cannot really destroy the hair. Cannot do much on the body. Well, it can, you know, when you
Could
do
be
the
bad
haircut, you
luck.
can cut your head and you can do some stuff, and then, you know, energetically though, because we have been probably we reduce the energy from it, but it corrects itself. It's like okay, it's like, you know, a cow that has a bunch of fleas in it. You just go under the wall, you know. You have to go, and this correction is a natural disaster and everything else. It's not that the disaster happens because you know, hurting the planet.
No,
No,
that's, no.
the planet creates those disasters
Yeah.
while it's going to a new vibration, and
Yeah.
through that disaster, it releases the energy and harmonizes what it needs to be. So it shakes the energy of the earth, that the energy on what human has invaded in, and what England has done, what England is and English people, what this Australia has done, can be shake up
Yeah.
to a different level.
Yeah.
And it has happened many times.
Yeah.
But what you're tapping to is a consciousness that it's valid. You see, when you look at all the predictions, it was end time, a huge thing gonna happen, and lots of disaster. It would have been correct in the old consciousness, but with new consciousness, it's not correct. Well, one thing is correct is that there will be, not to the extent that you can see or people predict, which is those prediction was not that they're correct, but it's been changed because they're for many reasons. The energy is not the same, so things changes, and this was not included. You know, there are 144,000 of light beings at this time on this earth, and has been changing the possibilities and energy and a lot of things. So the possibility that's happening now is beyond what existence could think about. And each of you is one of them, by the way. One of the 144,000. Anybody who comes to me is one of them. Not that I know all the 144, it's just you don't get it, you know, the opposite. So each time you that light that you have go to it, you become that light. Your light vibrates in different level. Each time I have a session and people meditate or you do whatever that you go to the higher level, you bring the vibration of earth one notch up. So, you know, this one thing I said you come for, but another thing is that I told you yesterday that there's a gap between the earth vibration and the universe vibration. and why, and it will be a correction that Earth's going to go up here. But because of all these notches come up, the difference is not as much as before. So the degree of disasters are not as big as what it was, but the biggest disaster is within a human. Actually, the biggest disaster that we're going to witness is cancer. It's not, the biggest thing that people are not going to be around is through cancer, not through dying from a tsunami or something. And this is the first time that this is this way. And what is happening is that because of the new energy and everything changing, this new energy that is coming in, it's in already, it tries to penetrate through you and through you to the earth. Each of you is an antenna connecting earth to the above. Human is like that. And the medium of above have changed. Earth is still the earth energy. And different energy goes through you. And what's happened in humanity, that humanity has lost connection to earth and its nature. You know? If you're connected to your nature, through your nature you're connected to it. Because you are a natural, you're animal like everything else. If we don't deny our nature, we go through that, we have that connection to it. Connection is not because you wear barefoot or you say, oh, I'm grounded. No, it's just going to the nature. And humanity has lost that connection to nature. So what happened, when this energy goes through your antenna, rather than going to earth, which is if you are connected, it goes, if nothing happens, it kind of, you don't allow. You become like a fuse. That your capacity is not high, that when energy goes through, because you don't let it go, because you have no connection, it blows. And that through that blowing, your energetic body cannot handle it. It affects your emotional body and physical body. On emotional body, you get depression and anxiety. On physical body, you get cellular, you get cancer. And that is what's happening. Because the energy flux that goes. So the key is to be connected again to basic, to nature. It's not become spiritual and to connect to be knowing all the secrets of the universe. You just go back to nature, to go back to basic, as you are, as human, as basic needs, not all this garbage that we have created in order to feel good. That's what's happening. That's the huge. I think 80% of the natural, that's the death that you're expecting in a few years is from that. It's from cancer. It's not from other diseases. It's happening, but it's not comparable. And regardless of that, it's just, you know, and one remedy to that is just spending time in nature. Because the nature brings you back to your natural format, because you nature. 5 years in Costa Rica did a lot for me. It just brings you back. You feel the nature rhythm, and you feel your rhythm, and you allow. But a society environment is all based on don't allow. Because here you go, this is right and this is where we're going, and forget about, we are not human, we are much better than, you know, just let's manage the world. Let's manage everything. Let's go against your nature and manage you. That's the problem. And through that disconnection, there's a lot of fear, a lot of things happen emotionally. Because when you're connected, it's a flow of energy and you just think come and go. When you're not connected, things come and don't go. So the things go, you know, fear stucks there to you, the anger and any other question? Oh, no question. Well, you know, yeah.
What's the role, if any, of say extraterrestrials or UFOs in transformation that's happening on Earth?
But you know, yeah, I just answered that to somebody else. I'm just trying to think about it and give you the same answer. You see, there is no role. I don't pay attention to those things. Not that they don't exist. They do. I believe and they do exist, like whatever. But you see, um, it's like, you know, when you put a nail with a hammer on a wall, you know, you do it, you're going to pay attention to the role of that hammer. See, I don't pay attention to the role of a hammer. I just pay attention to the nail and the person who hit it. Because it's going to happen with this hammer or another hammer. And how big a hammer, it doesn't matter. So their role to me is just they're the hammer. And it doesn't matter if it's that hammer or this hammer, and sometimes it's that hammer, sometimes it's going to be something else, and somebody's going to do it with the stone without the hammer. It doesn't matter. It's just what's happening. So you're not within my intention and attention and thought forms. Even though you're there, it doesn't matter. It's like you're in a party and a bunch of mosquitoes going around, and you know, if you're allergic to mosquito, you look at them, you notice them. If you're not, you don't care. And those are that mosquitoes. I don't want to make them better or worse. I'm just looking at attention and importance. So because I don't pay attention to them, I cannot give you, but somebody who does probably can.
I've got a question. What about the role of engineered bad health for humanity, like GMOs, chemtrails, and all that stuff that is actually making people very, very sick?
Yeah, but that's part of it. Yes, you know, it's part of it. You know, the human, you see, that is created by human and consumed by human. And the ignorance of human allow both, you know, allow to make it, and then you consume it, you know. And because we are not connected to the nature, we don't see things need to be the natural form. And that is a way of realizing it. So we get it to push us farther down and whatever, and we're going to be less connected to nature, and we're going to suffer from it on people who are in that consciousness. Yeah. Because when you consume nature, nature brings you back to your nature. When you don't consume nature, you go away from nature.
Like
Well, anything that is not
natural.
supporting, anything is natural, supporting you.
Yeah.
If, you know, for example, in Steiner school, you can't have anything plastic or made, it has to be wood. Because that's the way the connection happens with wood, the plastic doesn't. So it's just, in human, everybody's the same. But we just, you know, for the kids, we say, okay, well, all this. But it's cheaper because the whole thing become economy, and anything is cheaper. We forget about it. It's just the sit is something you sit. So who cares what it is? But the ignorance, of course, what brought us to here is ignorance. And what takes us from here is ignorance, because we do it worse and worse to be fixed by earth, by intelligence. But oddly enough, it's not as bad as before. Even though we are so ignorant, it's terrible. This is the first time in the history of humanity which is not as bad as before. Because the same thing has happened 14,000 years ago, 14,000, you know, every 7 times, 2012 years, the same thing happened. So the same cycle has happened. It's the first time that humanity will not be eliminated. That is, and this is for some reason, the new energy is here for the first time. A lot of things happening that didn't happen before. That means we are, even though it's so bad, we are at a better position. It's not as bad as you think.
Just to continue on with this being natural, how big a role do you feel, or is it possible, returning back to natural food to heal something like cancer? Is that sufficient to realign
sufficient
people?
is the thing is, you see, they say natural food. It's good, but you see what natural food does, again, to bring you back to nature. But if your thought form is not aligned with that, it doesn't do much. Because that is a support for you, for your being, for your body, to be connected again and allow that energy goes through you. But if your mind is so blocked that you don't, you know, it doesn't allow that support and you're still stuck to the unnatural being, not connected, well, it's not going to be a huge help. It's based on, you know, energetic body. Of course, these things help, but if then your mind is made up that, you know, you're disconnected. If you're a little bit disconnected, those things help you to be connected. But if you're way disconnected, that's not going to do it. That's why some people take it and it's okay, and some people do it. That's not.
I guess I was wondering, in the same way that someone with cancer can go and spend 3 months in the forest to recover, whether someone you feel can be introduced back to nature through only having foods that are unprocessed or
Well, I don't think they can be. I mean, it's a help, but I don't think. I mean, if somebody's gone so far off, that is just eating some from nature is not so powerful. You know, it has to be in an attitude toward life. You know, it's just the food's not going to do it. If that has if they understand it and say, well, yes, it is. That's what I'm going to start with. That's different. Then you go, I'm going to take something like a pill that is going to help me, like a diet, you know. It's, no. It's that, you see, you can eat anything that has the nutrition that you want it to have, regardless of what it is. It's all based on that connection and power of that creation. See, I eat junk food too. Not because I don't believe anything can harm me in any way. Because if you take what it takes, nothing, you know, it's just we are much more powerful than whatever around us, the food, whatever else. If we use that power to be connected to support who we are, nothing around us can affect us. If we are not, we ignore that power and point that power toward the things, you know, like fears and whatever, then everything can attack us. You know, you can have a hamburger and die. Seriously, it's just how. That's how you see. For example, you see, none of the Muslim and Jews eat pork, but Christian do, because pork was a food nobody ate before. But then, because there wasn't enough food, somebody said, you know what, you can pray over it and change it, and it was okay. And that's what some people do, you know. Of course, if you're in an environment that's your only option, you can change it. But if you're going to produce garbage, and you're going to say, I'm going to pray over it, and it doesn't work that way, you know, because you really don't live on what you need. But your intention can change anything, and especially your food. Everybody's intention can change their own food. I mean, your intention might not change somebody's health, but definitely you can change your food. You can change what you eat through intention. But if you are kind of person who have that powerful intention, you're never going to eat the garbage food. You're never going to eat the junk. So you cannot be that person who eat the GMO and say, well, I'm going to fix it. No, because if that runs through you, you don't have that powerful intention to fix that. You understand what I'm saying? Anybody else?
Abdi, are we not lucky in Australia to have the example of the connectedness that our Indigenous people feel with nature and with each other?
Well, yes, you are.
And how can we learn from that? What can we?
What do you think is?
We've stuffed it up, really.
Yeah, but you see, the thing is, how do you choose your life? Based on that, or based on what you get in the news from Western society, other parts? You know, you don't live that, you see. You're lucky to have that. Actually, see, the way the whole world is, there's a high vibration and low vibration in certain parts. Oddly enough, in Asia and Europe, the vibration is so low. It's extremely low. Because of human invasion for a long time. Cutting the trees, manipulating the land, and do whatever they want to get whatever they want out of it. So that manipulation has reduced, actually, reducing trees is the worst thing that can happen where the trees are. But in North America, because up until a couple of 100 years ago, or South America, the indigenous people there, everything is not as invaded. It's very hard. And in Australia, the same way. The energetic of it is not invaded because you have what little people. So the energetic of it is still high energy. But the pockets that you leave, you choose to leave, is you create your sub pockets. So if you want to relate to that energy, then this is not the way to live. I mean, you still relate, but you don't absorb it. You just more go to nature and go back out of the city, connect to land, because that's how you get that energy, the aboriginal energy through the land. Or even if you're backyard, you constantly do, work with the land. Okay? Because the more people who work with the land will do more of it.
And we still have the space to do that here.
Yeah, but it's not the space. Yes, you do have the space, but it's just the understanding of it. There's many people have many space, but the system here is just, the system here is more of North American system. I don't know how you got everything here is English, but the system is North American, and it's more of everything comfortable. Oh, let's have a lawn there, and you just cut it once a week, and that's it's green inside. So just look guys. Then pretty soon you guys say, well, you know what? You don't want to cut it. Let's put plastic lawn everywhere. That's what people people do. You have plastic flowers. I mean, what's the usage of a plastic flower? If you want flower, what does a flower do that is plastic? It's just the whole thing. You see, the presence of something is not good enough. The natural form of it is what it does. So having land that is not connected to, not used for, doesn't do much. When you have a land that you produce, you have your own garden, you give love, you receive love from that. What you do, it does. But just having